Have you ever noticed a baby staring at you for a surprisingly long time? Not just a quick glance, but a quiet, focused gaze that almost feels like they are studying you. At first, it might seem a little funny or even mysterious, but in reality, that silent stare is one of the earliest ways babies begin understanding the world around them. During the first year of life, a baby's brain is developing faster than at almost any other time in life. Millions of new neural connections are forming every second. These connections grow through experience. Every face, sound, and movement the baby observes becomes information the brain uses to build understanding. And among all the things babies see each day, human faces quickly become the most fascinating and important. Eye contact helps babies bond with caregivers. When babies make eye contact with someone they trust, the brain releases oxytocin. Oxytocin is the emotional connection and creates feelings of safety. Babies do more than watch faces. They also imitate them. If a parent smiles, the baby may attempt to smile back. This imitation helps babies practice the movements that will later become speech and communication. When babies recognize someone they trust, they often respond with smiles, excitement, or reaching gestures. These reactions are early signs of emotional bonding. Psychologists describe this as early social communication. The baby looks, the adult responds, and the baby learns how interaction works. Babies are especially fascinated by expressive faces. Big smiles, raised eyebrows, and playful expressions capture their attention easily. They love it when you make funny faces. Eventually, babies begin copying these expressions. If someone smiles at them, they often attempt to smile back. This imitation helps babies practice the physical movements that will later become speech and communication. Through these repeated observations, babies slowly begin learning what different facial expressions mean. A smile usually signals safety and warmth. Babies quickly learn to associate smiling faces with positive feelings. A surprised or worried expression may cause the baby to pause and observe more carefully. This behavior is known as social referencing. Babies look at adults to decide how they should respond to new situations. Babies also stare at people they have never seen before. New faces are filled with unfamiliar patterns. Something as simple as glasses, facial hair, or a unique hairstyle can capture their attention. The baby's brain begins analyzing these features to understand and remember them. Over time, babies build a mental library of familiar faces and social patterns. When babies stare at someone they trust, their brain releases chemicals that strengthen emotional bonding. Sometimes babies simply stare quietly without reacting at all. This does not mean they are bored. In these moments, they are building mental maps of the people and environment around them. So the next time a baby stares at you, remember that something meaningful may be happening inside their mind. Sometimes babies stare not only at people, but at movement itself. Their brain is naturally drawn to motion, especially slow and repetitive patterns. When their eyes follow movement, their brain begins learning how objects behave in space. This is an early step in visual understanding. After observing something new, babies often look back at a caregiver, almost as if they are asking,
Guga?
"Did you see that too?"
Yes, I saw it too.
Babies don't just watch individuals, they also observe interactions between people. By watching conversations, babies begin learning the rhythm of human communication, who speaks, who listens, and how expressions change. When babies see people laughing together, they begin associating those expressions with positive social experiences. Even before understanding humor, babies can sense emotional energy, and they often respond to it. At times, babies stare at reflections, including their own. Instead, they see another face and become curious. They observe it the same way they observe others. This begins an early stage of self-awareness, a slow process that develops over time. Babies also stare when someone moves away from them. This relates to something called object permanence. At first, babies may think that when someone disappears, they are gone completely. When the person returns, babies begin learning that people still exist even when out of sight. This makes eye contact even more important, because it reassures the baby that the connection is still there. Babies are also learning language through observation. Even before they understand words, they carefully watch how lips move during speech, mapping sounds to visual patterns. This observation helps prepare them for speaking in the future. Babies are especially sensitive to sudden changes in facial expressions. Even a small change in expression can capture their full attention. Sensitivity helps babies detect emotional changes quickly, and interestingly, babies may stare longer at calm and neutral faces, trying to interpret what they mean. This often leads to the classic head tilt behavior, a sign of curiosity and processing. Even blinking patterns can show focus. Babies often blink less when deeply engaged. Babies gradually learn to distinguish between familiar and unfamiliar faces. They tend to look longer and respond more positively to familiar people. With strangers, the stare may last longer, but with more caution. This is part of developing social awareness and attachment.
As babies grow, they begin observing groups and social dynamics. They start learning who interacts with whom and how. Even in groups, babies often focus on one face at a time. They track movement to maintain connection and understanding. These quiet moments of observation are not passive. They are deeply active learning moments. Neural pathways are strengthening with every observation.
Gradually, babies become more confident in their understanding. They begin initiating eye contact more intentionally. This leads to more active interaction with people around them.
Yes, that's it. Allah.
Face by face, moment by moment, babies build their understanding of the human world.
What a big curious.
What seems like a simple stare is actually a complex learning process. A process that shapes how they think, feel, and connect. So when a baby looks at you, they are not just seeing you, they are learning from you, understanding you. And in that quiet moment, they are beginning to understand what it means to be human.